you, and the staff loved you, and thanks for that. I appreciate your work.
Oh, well, thank you for the compliment. And honestly, it was really nice because people are like, oh, Colin Cowherd, it's a one-man band. No, no, no.
Yeah.
There's many, many people in this band. And now I know the true genius behind the brains that is Colin Cowherd. Your staff is absolutely incredible.
That's right. It's like the Wizard of Oz. You go behind the curtain, and he's not really doing that much. So I want to talk about the Bears. And I said this yesterday. When Justin Fields went for just a 6th-round pick, it's actually good news for the Bears. Because NFL personnel people are telling you, yeah, the gap between Caleb and Justin is the Grand Canyon, and you still won 7 games with that quarterback. So in a weird way, going for a 6th-round pick, to me, I felt like, oh, this team's ready to win now. And I don't want to get too hyperbolic on it because it's the Bears, and they, culturally they're always off. But if you ask your typical listener, and fans can be, they're fans, they emote. But I don't think it's crazy to say, yeah, this can be a playoff team. Does that seem too much too soon?
Not at all. We saw C.J. Stroud win a playoff game last year, and he did not enter a situation that was half as good, at least how we thought about it 12 months ago, as the one that Caleb Williams is walking into. And we know that Caleb was a higher level prospect than C.J. Stroud. So we see rookie quarterbacks, if they are talented and they go into good situations, have success early. Justin Herbert, he had 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions as a rookie. I don't know why Caleb Williams couldn't be the first Bears quarterback ever to throw for 30 touchdowns or the first Bears quarterback ever to throw for 4,000 yards as a rookie. And if they won 7 games without him, the expectation is certainly to win more than 7 games with him, because it's not just him that they added. They should have upgraded at play caller. They certainly upgraded at wide receiver 2 with Keenan Allen. They certainly upgraded at wide receiver 3 with Rome Odunze. They upgraded with DeAndre Swift. This offense should have gotten a lot better this offseason.
So we were talking earlier, we got into a debate on Dak Prescott. And I've always said, if you look at the numbers, basically he's Kirk Cousins with a star on his helmet. That he's a bigger brand. But Kirk, whenever you pay Kirk, it's what are you doing? And if you don't pay Dak, it's what are you doing? And the truth is, their numbers are virtually the same. Kirk throws a better, more accurate ball. Dak's the better athlete. But they're kind of B-plus guys who have made A, money. And I believe there is a truth serum in the NFL. You can win a Super Bowl on a rookie quarterback contract or having an all-time great making money. You cannot be a Super Bowl team with a B-plus quarterback making A-plus money. And so I think it's all fear-based when I hear, what do you do if you don't have Dak? And my takeaway is, you figure it out. I mean, the Niners whiffed on Trey Lance and went and got Brock Purdy. You figure it out. What do you do with Dak if you ran the Cowboys?
You pay him, and you can accuse me of being fear-based, Colin, but they don't have Kyle Shanahan. They have Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy only wins playoff games if he has Aaron Rodgers. So I don't think that you can say, well, they'll just figure it out. I have no faith in their ability to figure it out. And we need to learn something from history. Like you're right. He puts up great stats. The Kirk Cousins comp, I don't think, is wildly unfair. But Kirk Cousins, at 35 years old, coming off a ruptured Achilles, just got $100 million guaranteed, up to $180 million. Dak Prescott is 30 years old. He's homegrown. He used to be 23-6 and a conservative check-down, risk-averse quarterback every year. This past year, they led the league in points. He led the league in passing touchdowns. He's 30 years old. He's coming off the best season of his career. He's the runner-up for MVP. I think it's totally reasonable to think that he's got a ceiling that is higher than Kirk Cousins. We just saw it this past year, at least in terms of how he finished relative to the league, winning 12 games, 3 straight years. They have no alternative. They're too good to draft high, to draft a replacement. I understand that he'll be 10% overpaid, but the Falcons said, we can't do it with Desmond Ridder anymore. We've got to get competency at that position. The alternative is what, Cooper Rush, Trey Lance? So yeah, call it fear-based if you want, but it's a binary thing. It's a have and have not league. And if you have a quarterback, I think you have to pay him if it's Dak Prescott.
The other debate I get into is Aaron Rodgers. And I said, Aaron's always been polarizing because he replaced maybe the most popular player in my life in Brett Favre. And they had a little feud. So that's like LeBron and Michael Jordan. Michael was more loved. Whether you think LeBron's better, Michael was more beloved. Whoever replaces Michael is going to get heat, unless maybe you're Magic, right? So, like, Aaron, it was tough. You're replacing, in small-town America, the most beloved player in the league. And then he has vaccine opinions and political opinions, but I don't care. I don't care who you vote for. My guess is most quarterbacks are conservative. I'm not. I don't care. But my knock on him has always been, I always say, little bit of a bailer more than a baller. He's not a foxhole guy. 21 playoff games, 1 come from behind. He's great with a lead. He's great in great weather. But he's lost home playoff games as a favorite to Garoppolo, old Tom Brady, Colin Kaepernick. And I've said I feel like if you go to the heart of his career and the heart of Aikman's, Bradshaw, Brady, Manning, Ben, Warner, it doesn't stack up. It's an NBA career where he's rich, he's got a big brand, it's aesthetically pleasing. I like Aaron. I think we've anointed him to a class. It doesn't feel like he belongs, and you think I'm nuts.
I think you're absolutely insane. There is some level of eye test that we have to apply to this sort of thing because it is, it's the ultimate team game. One player cannot just win you a Super Bowl. I mean, I lost a bunch of money when Mike McCarthy took the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands in an NFC championship game where they were up 12 in the fourth quarter against Seattle, and this guy's settling for field goals inside the 5-yard line and like, no, I'll give it to Eddie Lacy.
Welcome back, Hour 2 on a Friday. Live in L.A., it's The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, thanks for making us part of your day. Jordan Schultz is joining me. J-Mac back next week. He's somewhere abroad. No idea where. I can't keep up. Travels the globe. Last couple of nights, I've been staying home because I was on vacation, and I wanted to kind of get back into sports. And I watched the Dodgers-Phillies series the last couple of nights. Folks, it's official. The Phillies are the best team in baseball, and I'm not sure it's particularly close. They overwhelmed the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers have some injuries to deal with, but they outscored them 19-5 in the series, and it was not close. The Phillies are the best team in baseball. They have the best pitching in baseball, the best run differential. Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, they have power. Aaron Nola, they probably have the best ace, first or second best ace. Their pitching staff is like old school, so they eat up innings, so their bullpen's always fresh. Brandon Marsh, Alec Bohm at third. If you watched any of this series, it wasn't close. Now, Philadelphia plays so well at home that there's no home field advantage generally in baseball. It's the next day's pitcher. I'm sorry, but the Phillies are better at home. That is a home field. That's a football home field advantage. Philadelphia is loaded. And the Dodgers are in a weird place because they have a massive payroll, number 1 in attendance, stars everywhere, but the pitching, they can't stay healthy. Yamamoto now hurt, Clayton Kershaw still hurt, Walker Buehler still in rehab. They had to demote a starting pitcher because his mechanics got off track down to minor league baseball. But if you watched any of this series, the Phillies were better than the Dodgers at everything. Starting pitching, power hitting, situational, defense. It wasn't close. And now some of it's the Dodgers are banged up. But I felt after the Dodgers played the Yankees, you came out of that series and said the Dodgers are the better team than the Yankees. And the Yankees have struggled. The Dodgers right now, on some of its injuries, they're not close to Philadelphia. Here's Dave Roberts after.
They're clearly playing a lot better baseball than we are. They're clearly a better team than we are right now. We really didn't do much well this series. Starting pitching, defense. We had a mistake tonight on the bases. Like I always say, no one's going to feel sorry for you. You got to play better.
Yeah, and Philadelphia is a great watch. It feels a little bit like old Yankee Stadium where you literally felt in later innings the crowd played a part in it. We see that in football all the time, especially college football. But you watch the Phillies at home, that's an advantage. That team feeds off the energy of that crowd. Well, I was gone Monday and Tuesday, and Danny Parkins filled in, super talented guy out of Chicago, did a great job filling this for us on the show. and our staff just loved him, and he is joining us live now before he does his afternoon show in Chicago. First of all, thanks for filling in. It was a real treat to watch you, and the staff loved you, and thanks for that. I appreciate your work.
Oh, well, thank you for the compliment. And honestly, it was really nice because people are like, oh,